Greetings, everyone. I'm excited about this one. We have the Mexico Trilogy. Robert Rodriguez's magnum opus of just action cinema. Yeah, I love these movies so much. I was so excited when I found out that Arrow was putting out a big deluxe set of them. Now, right out of the gate, I want to explain something that I actually got wrong. When this was first announced that it was going to be a 4K, combination 4K and Blu-ray set, I was curious and puzzled as to why El Mariachi and Once Upon a Time in Mexico are only on Blu-ray, whereas Desperado is on 4K. I'm like, well, why not all three on 4K? Well, the answer to that is very simple. El Mariachi was filmed on 16mm film. So while there have been 4K releases of 16mm sourced films before, you don't really get a lot of added detail simply because of the limits of the resolution of the smaller film frames of 16mm. So, you know, if you were to translate the effective resolution of 16mm into digital terminology, you'd be looking at about 1440p-ish. So 1080 is more than adequate to pull the majority of the detail from a 16mm frame. Desperado was shot on 35mm. It was a bigger budget movie, so they had more money for higher quality film stock. It had the backing of a big studio. El Mariachi, of course, was a very independent film. So it was the perfect candidate for a 4K upgrade. As for Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and I just learned this was actually filmed digitally, and early digital from the early 2000s, which topped out again at around 1440p. So, again, no real benefit to putting it on 4K. So, in fact, it may only be 1080. The source may have only been 1080 now that I think about it. But, yeah, so that's why. So now that we got that out of the way, let's unbox this bad boy and check out Arrow Video's Mexico Trilogy today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Now, I've been a fan of these movies, the first two especially, for a very, very long time. I first heard about them ages ago, and I was always curious in particular to see El Mariachi because I kept seeing all of this praise heaped on it as just being the ultimate low-budget action movie. Like, guys, you have to see this thing. It's incredible. So, a number of years back, I picked it up on Laserdisc. And this was around the same time that Desperado had come out, so I picked that up on Laserdisc as well. And the great thing about those Laserdiscs is they both had commentary tracks by Robert Rodriguez. And Robert Rodriguez is very much a film guy. And he's all about the art and craft of making films. He just has just an unbridled passion for filmmaking. So the commentaries on those were so fascinating, especially El Mariachi, because El Mariachi was basically a low-budget film that he financed himself, had some actors, local actors that he knew, but mostly had his friends in the cast, and funded it all himself. He basically went into some experimental medical thing that paid a few grand, and just had them do experiments on him for a few weeks, and then got his paycheck and put it all into the movie. And so he talks about that in the commentary. I think it was like $20,000 or something originally. No, it was $7,000, even less. So he got $7,000. He got about $5,000, I think, from his medical experimentation plan, and then he financed the rest from other sources. But the interesting thing about it was, in the commentary he says, okay, in this commentary I'm going to tell you how to make a $7,000 movie look like $1 million movie. And then when he did Desperado, And the commentary for that, he says, okay, so in El Mariachi, I told you how to make a $7,000 movie look like $1,000,000 movie. So now I'm going to tell you how to make $1,000,000 movie look like a $10,000,000 movie. So he just gives you all these tips and tricks for budding filmmakers, and it's an absolute delight to listen to. He's such an interesting guy. And very happy to report that those commentaries are on this set as well. I mean, they have to be. They have to be. So, Arrow being very thorough, I'll be curious to see how much of the old archival extras are on here, because he had not only featurettes that he kind of think was called 10-minute film school, where he just kind of give you a quick crash course in how they made the movie and some of the techniques and, you know, the stuff for film nerds, you know, that film nerds would like. And then he had his like cooking school as well, because he's also big into cooking. He's, you know, Texas guy, loves his Texas barbecue, and would do these incredible cooking segments where everything just looked so damn delicious. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure those are all on here as well. So let's crack this bad boy open and check out Arrow's Mexico Trilogy set, shall we? Yeah, I love these movies. The only one I haven't really seen very much repeatedly is the third one, so it'll be fun to revisit that one. I remember liking it quite a bit, but the first two, there's just, I don't know, there's just a magic to them, honestly, because you really feel the unbridled passion of filmmaking in those. That it was like both of them. I mean, even though Desperado technically was a studio film, it still has that feel to it. It's just they had more money. So it's just like, hey guys, let's get together and make a movie. You know, that's kind of the thing. And apparently El Mariachi, they didn't even expect to do phenomenally well. They thought maybe it would hit the home, you know, make a few bucks in the home video market. But it just became this massive juggernaut and basically kickstarted his whole career. And nothing on the back there, nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom. All right, let's see what we got. So here is the whole saga. Very good. Yeah, I mean, if you just enjoy fun action movies, you cannot go wrong with the Mexico Trilogy. So first off, we have El Mariachi, and there he is, the man himself. Yes, the original El Mariachi was not Antonio Banderas. It was actually one of Robert Rodriguez's friends. And the bad guy in it, the villain, was another one of his friends, who apparently didn't speak Spanish, so he does all the Spanish lines phonetically, just kind of learned the words. And that was it. But he did do his own voice in the English dub, so fun. There we go. So we'll crack this open. Yeah. So we got our poster there. And it looks like we're getting Hugo, which I'd never seen. There you go. Hugo. Coming soon from Arrow. Maybe it's probably already out by the time you're seeing this. It's taken me a long time to get around to these closer looks. So I love the original artwork. It's just iconic to me, so I'm flipping this around immediately. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Which, of course, was the cover of the Laserdisc, which we just looked at. Those were not my Laserdiscs, by the way. Mine are sadly long gone. I just found some pictures of them on the internet to show you. But, yeah. Oh, man. I've been wanting to see this again for so long. Hold on a sec, it's not quite straight. There we go. Excellent. And there we go, the original poster art. Very nice. So what's on El Mariachi? Let's see here. So you take a look at the back, and I'll read it off the back here. So, we have the original uncompressed Latin American Spanish stereo audio, plus an English dub in lossless stereo. I'm assuming that's the same English dub that was on the Laserdisc. Optional English subtitles, plus English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Also, it's got two different English subtitles. That's cool. Commentary by writer-director Robert Rodriguez. That's got to be the same one that was on the Laserdisc. Highest possible recommendation. It's such an entertaining commentary. Big Vision, Low Budget, a newly filmed interview with Rodriguez. The original Mariachi, a newly filmed interview with producer and star Carlos Gallardo, who was the original Mariachi. There you go. The Music of El Mariachi, a newly produced featurette on the music in the film, featuring interviews with composers Eric Guthrie, Chris Knudsen, Alvaro Rodriguez, and Mark Trujillo. 10-Minute Film School, an archive featurette produced and narrated by Rodriguez. Bedhead, a 1991 short film by Rodriguez. The theatrical trailer and TV spots. That's awesome. So it actually has everything that was on the old Laserdisc release. And a whole bunch of new stuff. I love the fact that they got new interviews as well. And there we go. So no cooking school on that one because I don't think he was doing those yet. But fairly small poster this time. So we have the, I can actually fit it in the screen. So it's just inside the case. So we have the new artwork, which is quite nice. Just tilt your head there. And then the original artwork. Very nice. Oh. So I'm really stoked about this. I love this movie so much. Okay, so that is the first one, and then we have Desperado. Yes, with Antonio Banderas stepping into the role of the mariachi, and we have the absolutely just drop-dead beautiful Salma Hayek, who Robert Rodriguez was clearly madly in love with and put into a lot of his movies. Who could blame the guy? I certainly would have done the same thing. And there we go. Loads of extras on there. And let's spin. Let's take a look. Okay, and then here we actually have a 2-disc set with a whole bunch of stuff on there. And we'll take a look at the poster real quick as well, because it looks like it's another sort of small one. So there we go. We have the new artwork, which is actually quite nice. Painted and done by a human, as you can see. There's the signature. Very nice. And then we have the original movie poster. Very cool. So once again, being the purist that I am, we're going to flip this around. Yeah, quite a lot of stuff on here. We'll go over all the extras in just a second. There we go, look at that. Beautiful. Handsome devil. There we go. So here you can look at Antonio, and we'll just take a look on the back here. So Desperado, in this case we have a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative by Sony Pictures, actually not by Arrow. Original uncompressed stereo audio and DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 surround. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Audio commentary by writer-director Robert Rodriguez. That's got to be the same one I was talking about. Also highly recommended. Lean and Mean, a newly filmed interview with Rodriguez. Shoot Like Crazy, a newly filmed interview with producer Bill Borden. Kill Count, a newly filmed interview with stunt coordinator Steve Davison. Lock and Load, a newly filmed interview with special effects coordinator Bob Shelley. Game Changer, a newly filmed appreciation by filmmaker Gareth Evans, who did The Raid Redemption. 10 More Minutes, Anatomy of a Shootout, so another 10-minute film school. An archive featurette narrated by Rodriguez. Textless Opening, Morena de mi Corazon. I don't know what that is. That like alternate Spanish title, I guess. And theatrical trailers. And there we go. And is there anything else? Nothing else. I don't see the cooking segments on here. Did we not get the cooking segments? That's a little sad if we didn't. And then we have the conclusion of the saga of the El Mariachi, or of the Mariachi. I guess that's what El Mariachi is, the Mariachi. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Sort of a little play on Once Upon a Time in America or Once Upon a Time in the West. So this is Once Upon a Time in Mexico. And in this one, Johnny Depp joins the cast as one of the big bads in the film. Also got Mickey Rourke, Salma Hayek again, Danny Trejo. Yeah, oh, good stuff. I'm going to enjoy revisiting this because I have not seen it for a very, very long time. There we go. We'll take a look here at the poster art. There we go. And the original movie poster. Very cool. Yeah, I think this came out. Yeah, this came out when I was actually working at the movie theater. I don't know why I didn't see it. I remember seeing bits of it when I was just, making my rounds and cleaning the theaters and such. But I just never got around to seeing it. I don't know why. But I did eventually see the whole thing on DVD. So this will be a nice upgrade. Did we get that? Yeah. Okay. And there we go. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Very nice. Looks like quite a chunk of extras on here. Let's see what's on this one. So we have 2.0 stereo audio and original DTS HD master audio surround. Original. So I think that this one was actually done in surround sound, so that might actually be correct. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Commentary, once again, by writer-director Robert Rodriguez. The Revolution will be digitized. A newly filmed interview with Rodriguez. I assume that's him talking about filming it digitally. Troublemaking. A newly filmed interview with visual effects editor Ethan Maniqui. 8 deleted scenes with optional commentary by Rodriguez. 10-minute Flick School, an archive featurette narrated by Rodriguez, so another one. Inside Troublemaker Studios, an archive featurette on Rodriguez's studio in Austin. Oh, I remember that. That's really interesting. He has like an in-house studio. Like, I think he converted his garage into like an editing suite and studio and stuff. It's very cool. Oh, here we are. 10-minute Cooking School, an archive featurette in which Rodriguez shows you how to cook puerco pibil. Film is Dead, An Evening with Robert Rodriguez, a presentation by the director given in 2003. The Anti-Hero's Journey, an archive featurette on the arc of the Mariachi. The Good, the Bad, and the Bloody, Inside K&B FX, an archive featurette on the film's special effects. And theatrical trailers. So there we go. Quite a nicely loaded set of stuff. But wait, there's more. Oh, we have a big poster. Okay, we'll check that out in a sec. And we have a book. A perfect bound book, as they call it, as opposed to an imperfectly bound book. And there is Danny Trejo, which I believe he met worked with for the first time on From Dusk Till Dawn. And then everybody just loved him, so he just started putting him in all his movies. And bless him for it, because we all love Danny. Let's check out this poster real quick, just before we dive into the book. Okay, so we got our main poster of the box art, basically. So we have the individual movie posters with the individual movies, and then we have this, and then on the back, okay, this is cool. We actually have a painted rendition of the Mariachi by Robert Rodriguez himself. How cool is that? Very nice. Multi-talented. He does a lot of the music for his own movies too now. He's one of them, likes to do it all himself. I respect that. And there we go. Well, they're really hyping up Danny Trejo in these. You'd think he was the Mariachi, the number of pictures we got of him already. And there we go. Beautiful pictures. Just symphonies of violence Yeah, these movies are so much fun. They're so good. If you've never seen them and you just enjoy really fun action movies, do yourself a treat and check these out. You will not be disappointed. It's great stuff. I'm not as crazy about Rodriguez's kids movies like Spy Kids and all that, and Shark Boy and Lava Girl. And I mean, I get why he made them. He wanted some stuff. You know, he wanted to make some movies that were okay for his kids to watch and for other other people's kids. But he's the kind of director who just basically does his own thing, and follows his own personal passions, and I respect that. Great stuff. And that's his best buddy, Quentin Tarantino. Look at that. The old walking away from the explosion thing. Yeah, they do that a lot in these. And there we go. Very nice. So you guys saw what's in this book before I did. What all do we have here? I'll just put this here for you to look at while I go over. So cast and crew: Bad Hombres, A Tragic Hero in the Never-Ending Quest for Freedom by Carlos Aguilar, 2024. Robert Rodriguez, Rebel with a Plan by Nick Clement from 2024. And some stuff about the transfers. Very cool. So what about the transfers? Yeah, it doesn't really say. Oh, it just says that all mastering was done by Sony. So this is one of those rare cases. I mean, I know when Arrow was just starting out, they would often just kind of put out whatever transfers the studio gave them. But in this case, well, they didn't do their own transfers. So, I mean, I guess it was, they looked at the Sony transfers and they were fine. So they, sometimes you don't need to do it. It doesn't have to be a new transfer every single time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the ones that you were supplied are good and meet your standards of quality, then there you go. So, and there it is with all of the original movie poster logos on the spines. So, very cool. Alrighty, so back into the giant slip cover. I know some people are kind of mixed on these. And it's like, why are they doing these giant slip covers for their box sets? Why don't they just do the boxes like they used to? I don't know. I mean, it's added protection for your box set, I guess. Hey, focus, where'd you go? There you go. Alrighty, well that is it. I'm definitely going to enjoy revisiting these. This is such a great trilogy, which, I've said several times in this video now. So do you get the impression I really like these movies? Yeah, and most people I know who have seen them are much the same way. They're just unimpeachable, just so much fun, and they quit while they were ahead too. Like they didn't keep pumping out sequels and milking it. It's like no, they did their trilogy. He told his story, has a nice beginning, middle, and end, and that's it. Sometimes that's all you need. Alrighty, folks, that is it from me to you for now. Hope you enjoyed. So check out the Mexico Trilogy from Arrow Video. It really does seem to be a definitive collection for these wonderful modern classics of action goodness. Alrighty, I will see you next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.